Welcome to the Image Fair Photographic Historical Society of Canada. We put on this once a year, and so we have our regular fairs, it's camera fairs, but this is strictly images type thing. So welcome.
No, it's a lovely. I'm glad we were able to hear versus
What do you cut on this? There's not many pictures in there. It's just
There's one last one here somewhere. I tend to put them aside. I feel like you eventually.
I mean, I'm starting to have a weird way of doing that. Constantly. And he's held up and did well.
yeah.
So this is your office.
Oh, definitely.
So what goes on here?
This is really where I do all my hard work. I use InDesign and produce Photographic Canadiana. This is my next issue being prepared, and I've made some laser printouts as to how many pages I got, and you start to see how things, go together and everything else, and make corrections. So, but it's all done on the computer, and all the pictures, 90% of the pictures are taken by me. Having, former press relations, I know what to do, and create it. And the cover, well, I create that picture upstairs on the table. So I do a little setup and everything else, so we're all okay. Finding the stories, that's another job, because nobody wants to write. But I have about 4 or 5 guys who are at least conscious that I need stuff. And so periodically they will send in an article. And we've started to give a bursary to Ryerson students for their best thesis. And it gives a little bit of high tone to our publication, so I can publish their thesis on some sort of topic, but quite often the material isn't Canadian. So I'm sort of, and it takes quite a bit to sort of cut down, because I couldn't publish the whole thesis, and so we work it out pretty well. So, but I say, upstairs I keep everything clean. Downstairs I just don't file. And as you can see, I get up to my ears in paper, more paper and more paper. And probably more equipment than anything else. I've seen it worse. Like I'm a Torontonian. Born in Toronto and lived here and everything else. I lived in Long Branch for a long while during the war, and that's the Second World War, pardon me. And in which case, living space was just at a premium, so you lived in anything type thing. So, and after the war, my uncles and I built a house on 41st Street. That was the time that everybody in the neighborhood, there must have been 5 houses which were being built by the owner, and on the weekends all you could hear was skill saws. So I've got the skill of building with lumber, putting in copper pipes, electrical attachment and everything else. So I've been trained to do that, and so we built that house, and we couldn't have built it any other way. And luckily, my mother, see, my dad was out of work for a long time, and along came the war, which case my dad finally got a job as an accountant. So we started. My mother, she worked into the small arms plant up at Lakeview, and that brought more money. She saved all the money, so that is the money which had the down deposit that we could buy the lot in Long Branch and start to build this house. So got a little bit of history type thing there. And from there I went, in that house I went to Ryerson Tech and graduated in 1953 in photography, and came out, did press work for 10 years. You can't make money there. Finally worked for another chap, Jack Marshall in Cooksville, and then started my own business, which by luck, we had something like $500 in the bank, which was loaned to us by my mother-in-law, and we gradually got things. The best thing is that I belong to the Professional Photographers of Canada, and I was on the executive. And at the time I went to go on my own business, I told all the guys and whatnot, and those guys told me, says, look, you can go out and try on your own business or once. If you fail, you'll come back to us, and there's enough guys around here that we will find a job for you. So that was very nice. And the treasurer, he says, well, come on up to my house or my business, and he laid out all the books for us. I took them home to my wife. She did the pools in Scotland. She took over the books and made beautiful books every year. And I didn't like books. Business stuff, I hated. I did photography. I could produce something with my own hands, and that was good. And when I retired finally, as the digital age came in, and the journal has taken over its place, that I can make this journal with my own hands, and I'm quite proud of it. No, I was born in 1931 in Toronto. We don't have many pictures of my very young age. There's a picture in my son is my archivist. He's through archiving. But I was about this high with a wagon. I was so proud of that wagon. And that's about the only picture we have in that period. And there were no cameras. I don't know who took the picture, but it was in the and it wasn't up until we got that black camera, the black box camera, that a camera came into the family, and we were able to take pictures when we got the money for the film, because we took those pictures on Easter time with my younger sister. She must have been six months old, and then the camera was put away safely. You couldn't waste all the film. And the next pictures that we have, we went, my dad finally got a job as a salesman, door-to-door salesman for these Majestic tools, but he had to go to factories like CCM, and he would lay out things during coffee breaks or lunch and try to sell tools to them. He was given a car with this, and so we went down to my grandmother's place to show off the car, and we're finally with the job making it big. And that was when we took the second group of pictures. You can see us being a little bit older, maybe 6 months older, standing in front of the car, this old Ford Flipper or Flapper, whatever it was. And then we could even trace out when was almost the third. By the time we moved out to the cottage in Long Branch, I had a birthday, and my sisters had a birthday. My grandmother came out with a jelly. She was famous for her jelly, and we took pictures with Grandma and us around the same chair. And so pictures were quite rare in our family. And I didn't know that I was going to become a professional photographer, but it was gradually leading me off into that. I've done a lot of research of the old photographic magazines back into the 1800s, and that's where my research started. Particularly, we'd go to Boston, or we'd go to Massachusetts for our holidays, and but 3 days out of my holidays with tent trailer there, I would go into the library at the Copley Square, ask for all the microfilms of this stuff, and I would read the stuff and fall asleep and read the stuff. The fourth day, I had everything marked, and I would make Xerox prints, and I would come back each year with a whole bunch of stuff. And really, that is what sent me off into, or gave me the groundwork for stories for my journal. I was looking for history of they called PAC. The PAC is Photographic Association of Canada, which was the very first group in Canada, and I was looking for the history. It goes through everything. You might find something a little small, and oh, you're so happy to find that. Oh. Most of the stuff, I'd see something, oh my God, that's interesting. So I'd indicate it to copy it. When I got home, I'd pull it together. That developed my interest for the archive, for the old stuff and everything else. And it would propelled me and gave me some interesting history, and I found a lot of stuff with it. So gradually, over the years, I've been able to go back and pull out another story, and another story, and another story. So those, I did that for 5 years. Got a lot of stuff. You can see that, you know. Each book is just full of Xeroxes. And so it gave me a lot of stuff to do over the years. So that's one. Now where would I don't see offhand. No, I'll have to send him a PDF. That is from our 25th anniversary, and I did up of a real big magazine. I think it was 70 pages for our 25th anniversary. It almost killed me trying to do it, but I thought, well, we really need to have something special for that year, and I don't know that we might have run out of all those things. That's it. So So there's the end.